So before I started this YouTube channel, I'd never really travelled all that much. And then YouTube came along and my YouTube channel started to gain some success, or whatever you want to call it. And since then, I've been fortunate enough to go out and do some fun things and go on some little adventures that I never expected to happen. And last month, in September, was kind of one of those months when I was doing some things that I'd never really done before and going to some different places, having fun, being a quote-unquote YouTuber. So I figured I'd kind of fill you all in and let you know what's been going on. But first of all, how's everyone doing? It's been a while. Once again, I know, consistency on this channel is not my strong point, but I'm back here now, and Mr. Alex Tech, there's going to be some videos coming on there as well, because I've kind of ignored that channel for the past few weeks as well. I've had a bit of time off, been doing some traveling, been having some fun, so here's what I've been up to. And first up, start of the month, or earlier in the month, in September, I got to go to Berlin in Germany, which is really cool. So I had been to Berlin once before because I went there for the DaVinci Resolve, the Blackmagic live tour, but I was out there once again. Now this one was actually an invitation from the folks over at Snapdragon. They invited me to attend IFA, or IFA as I was calling it, but everyone out there calls it IFA. It's one of the biggest consumer electronics trade shows, and it was pretty cool. They flew me out, they set me up in a nice hotel, and I got to go to a bunch of the press events. So I was actually there before it officially opened to the public, and I got to go to the press events and see all kind of the journalist side of things for the very first time. So it was kind of cool. Now, there's a lot of kind of sitting in dark rooms listening to presentations that could have very clearly been a little bit shorter than they were. However, overall, it was quite a cool experience. I met a bunch of new people that I'd never met before. I got to rub shoulders with some of the big tech people, like the Tech Chap, who's a big technology English YouTuber guy. Met him, he was cool, as well as a bunch of others. So it was really quite funky. Now, I actually use a Snapdragon X Elite Surface Pro anyway. It's kind of my daily driver. It's away somewhere. Here it is. So I quite like the Snapdragons. I like what they're doing in the kind of the Windows laptop space. They have also sent me out a Samsung Galaxy Book 4 Edge, which I need to get to grips with and have a little play with. So yeah, that sort of thing. But I was mainly there just to be involved. It was part of the Snapdragon Insiders thing. I did a bunch of stuff on my Instagram kind of showing what was going on. I actually want to get more into that side of things, some of the really techie stuff. It doesn't necessarily feel like it fits on Mr. Alex Tech, so I'm trying to find a separate place for it without kind of overloading myself with too much work, which is the downside, but we'll figure that out as we go forward. Then I got home. Then I went to London. I never really go unless I have a reason to go. Can't actually tell you why I was there. I was there for a meeting and it was cool. It was fun. Again, I got to meet some cool people and enjoyed that as well. I know that's kind of a nothing update. Then I got back, and then not long after that, I flew out to Amsterdam for IBC. Now, IBC is more of a broadcast style event, so think big cameras, live streaming setups, and lots of cloud solutions and all that sort of thing. It's not entirely my scene, but I was there because Blackmagic go there, and they have a massive Blackmagic stand, and Adobe are there, and all the other kind of editing suites are there, and there are some other nice little bits and bobs going on. Now, this one, I just took myself there. It wasn't a paid thing. No one sponsored me or anything like that. It was a bit of a jolly, but I went because I wanted to kind of have a little look at IBC, although to be honest, you can see what you need to see from my perspective in like half a day. But the real reason I go is just to hang around with the Blackmagic crew. There's obviously Darren and Daria and Team 2 Films, Natalie and Leon. And then there's all of the Blackmagic staff, which I've kind of got to know over the years. Some of them I've worked with and done certain things with, so it's nice to go and meet those. Plus, I got to meet some of the kind of the fans of the channel, the people that watch my content, so that's always fun. I got to meet Chloe for the first time. Chloe is from French's Colour Grading. She's lovely. So yeah, we all just kind of mingle. We go out for a drink, go out for some food after the event. And then in the day, I just mooch around and go say hello to some people and have a bit of fun. So it's a really cool event. It was loads of fun. I'm going to kind of make that an annual thing because, well, why not really? It's not even that far. It's like 50 minutes on the flight for me. Even the hotels are expensive. But other than that, it's a really nice little weekend. And honestly, it's been those sorts of moments when you go out to these shows and you meet people, and I've become friends with these people and I've got these new friend groups. It's kind of my favorite thing about having this whole YouTube thing going on. Because 90% of the time I'm stood here on my own in a dark little room. So going for little weekends away and hanging out with these really cool people is amazing. Honestly, it's one of the big perks of doing this whole YouTube malarkey. Being a YouTuber, get to meet some cool people. Exactly what my life ordered. A lover and a friend. Then I got home from that, and then I was off down to London once again. So this one was a strange one. I say strange, it wasn't, it was fun, but it was definitely something different for me. So basically, ASUS, the tech guys, computer guys, those sort of guys, they invited me down to an art exhibition they were putting on in Shoreditch. It was called Design You Can Feel, and it was showcasing their new ZenBook laptops with this Ceraluminum coating. So it's a ceramic aluminium blend that gives the laptops actually a really quite nice look. They've got this matte finish, so they're really good at hiding fingerprints. They feel quite nice. They look quite smart, actually. And with tech, everything is kind of the same these days, to be honest. Everything's incrementally better, and everyone's talking about numbers and 20 minutes more battery life and that sort of thing. So it was quite cool to see something that's just a little bit different. But most importantly, it's an art exhibition. And I am not an art exhibition kind of guy, to be honest. I like what I like, and if I look at something and go, that's cool, and then someone starts talking to me about the essence of touch and the human emotion, kind of goes over my head, to be honest. I just sort of nod and agree and pretend that I understand what they're talking about. However, it was actually kind of fun. It was cool to be out of my comfort zone, to be doing something a little bit different. I got to meet some of the ASUS staff, some from the kind of that were based over in Taiwan, and the other UK people, and they were really nice as well. So it was kind of fun to do something a little bit different, even if I didn't really get what was going on. There was this, it looked like a poodle, it was actually a chair. Yeah, but it is funny how YouTube has taken me on these journeys, and it's taken me to do some different things. And I never thought I'd be voluntarily going to an art exhibition, but I did, and I quite enjoyed it. And then last but not least, after I got back from London, I had a couple of days to kind of find my feet, and then I presented my very first Blackmagic masterclass. It was called DaVinci Resolve for Content Creators. Now, this one was actually one of that education masterclasses. It's part of that education program. So it was live streamed, it was like a webinar, and it was sent out to students and colleges and universities all around the world, which are part of kind of the Blackmagic education thing. So there was individual students watching. I think there was some classes that had it on, like on the projector, and the whole class was sitting there watching. So, you know, no pressure or anything like that. But it was really cool. So that was the reason I didn't kind of put it on my main channel. I didn't advertise it anywhere because no one could actually come and see it unless you were part of the education program. But it was quite fun. I actually quite enjoyed it. I generally don't like these online presentations. It was an hour. And when you're doing a 60-minute presentation and you're just on your own talking, you get no feedback. You can't bounce off people. You can't make jokes. You can't kind of figure it out and make it work on the day. You just have to rehearse and then regurgitate 60 minutes in one big go, and there's no real room for kind of slip-ups. You can get away with it, but you know what I mean? It feels like it has to be really value-packed in a really tight presentation, and it just doesn't, it's not my favorite thing to do, but it went well. I didn't hate doing it. I quite enjoyed it once I got going. It's just not my favorite thing. I like to be in front of people, weirdly. For someone like me that doesn't hang around people that much, I'm starting to quite like being around people, and people seem to enjoy it. I had some good feedback from Blackmagic and from the students and whatever else. So all in all, it seemed to go quite well, and it was nice. That's a cool thing to do, right? To be able to talk to a bunch of students and hopefully give them some, I don't like to say inspiration because I don't think of myself as being particularly inspirational, but some sort of inspiration so that they can, figure out where they want to go. I didn't just talk about Resolve itself as a software. I tried to give some sort of insight as to, how I got to where I am now and why they might consider doing content creation and why it has lots of benefits and you can throw things on the internet for loads of people to see these days. So yeah, it was kind of fun. So that's it. I just wanted to pop on, say a quick hello and let you know what has been going on. And also kind of just to reflect on the whole thing. It was quite a cool month and it was kind of highlights this big change and this thing which has happened to me thanks to having a YouTube channel that's somehow doing quite well. And rather than just being stuck here, I've got to go to these tech events and behind the scenes stuff and art exhibitions and international bits and bobs and stuff that I never really thought I would be a part of. So yeah, anyway, thank you for sticking around. Thank you for catching this video if you do, even though it's been months since the previous one. Hopefully there'll be some more coming up in the future. Let me know if there's anything you'd like me to cover. And that's about it. I hope you all have a wonderful day, wonderful week, doing whatever you're doing. I'll catch you next time.